you look at it and evaluate it for yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, I know I mentioned the question before. I'm not sure if I gave an answer that I could went to my mind and see it. Yeah. You also had touched on some of the security issues that I read about. Or is, by definition, it's done anonymized, but it's not designed to be always really 100% secure, but it helps with anonymity anyway. Yeah. What is, again, to prevent some tool to almost immediately create a circuit to reverse engineer your circuit and trace back to you?
Okay. Sure. Yeah.
Or it does regenerate the heat, but tools can work on it a lot faster than time for regeneration.
Sure. Okay. So the question is essentially, what about tracebacks? So just real quick, we'll go back to this. Great. Here. Okay. So the deal is that Bob sees my IP address as being relay 3 and says, all right, I'm gonna trace back that user using relay 3. Bob sees relay 3. That's all they see. How will their tool work from there? All relay 3 knows is about relay 2, right? And relay 2 only knows about relay 1. And Alice, of course, knows about relay 1, and relay 1 knows about Alice. But the thing is that the information relay 1 has is directly limited to relay 2. There is, if you compromise relay 3 entirely and you wiretap it, you still only see relay 2. So there isn't really an opportunity for you to trace it back. There are some papers that have been written about congestion, where you try to load all of the things that could possibly be relay 1 and see when there are timing differences. But now here's the trick. If you are doing something with relay 3 or relay 2 or relay 1, you're still going to end up in a situation where you don't actually have the whole circuit. Like, it's basically not possible for you in practice to find anything beyond relay 3. There have been some congestion attacks that might, in certain situations, allowed you to know about something that could have probabilistically been a relay 1, but that still doesn't reveal Alice. You need to wiretap the entire thing. Tor's circuit needs to basically be end-to-end watched to be broken. To break the assumptions, you'd have to watch the entire Tor network, because Alice is going to pick K of n, right? So if n is 2,000 servers, she picks K servers that are generally 3. So in the case of bridges, it's not. But K servers, and they meet a set of constraints. And assuming that that happens, you have the same pick. So you have to pick at random and hope that you're monitoring the right ones. If you are the all-seeing eye of the internet, and you can watch all of this, you can beat Tor. But when relay 1 is in Germany, and you're, I don't know where, here at this conference, you are not going to have that all-seeing eye capability. It is probably the case that there are intelligence agencies in the world that can, given the resources, break Tor in some limited subset. Like, for example, if you built a circuit that was to a relay at your house, to a relay at your neighbor's house, to a relay at your neighbor's house, and someone was watching that and watching both your neighbors, then of course Tor provides nothing for you. So part of this is the geographic and actual separate legal boundaries, right? Like, it's not going to be easy for you to directly wiretap me in the United States and Germany and Sweden and Japan or something like this. And of course, if you really build your circuit selectively, which we don't recommend, you could be super paranoid. You could say relay 1 is in Morocco, relay 2 is in Argentina. Now you know the path that that takes between those 2 points is like ridiculous. So wiretapping that connection alone is very hard. And then from there, you could pick another path, and you could say, okay, now I'm going to go to New Zealand. And the path to go from there is even more ridiculous. And now I'm going to exit through Sweden, and I'm going to use that to go to a site in Russia. That's some seriously hardcore wiretapping that is required to do that. And while Cisco does provide wiretapping interfaces that are extremely easy to exploit thanks to the SNMP bug, I don't think that it is even within the realm of some of the best hackers to track down these connections. And I think that because we use this privacy by design idea, we isolate what each relay knows, and we isolate the value of each relay. So it becomes, I think, an intractable problem as the network grows.
Data content probably you don't want to responsibility of user.
Data content, the question?
For information, each
Correct.
the information. So if you're something clear text.
Yes. So the question is, what about the message Alice sends? What happens to that message? Well, the message that Alice sends, if it is unencrypted, if the message is instant message conversations, and the protocol specifically lets you know Alice is talking to Bob, and it identifies Alice, obviously Relay 3 can sniff that. So if you use TLS, you're in much better shape. Any other questions? Yeah. No, Tor is for TCP streams, and it has limited support for UDP. So you can do certain kinds of DNS requests, and you can make connections to specific TCP ports that are allowed by the exit policies on each Tor server. So if you run a Tor exit server and you want to encourage secure web browsing, you can just say, I'll allow connections to port 443 TCP. And in general, that's pretty good for controlling not only abuse, but also for allowing you to specifically help with certain things. Anything else? Anyone else? Yeah? Huh? Yeah, you can say not port 25, not port 80, everything else allow if you want. We don't do any protocol filtering or any of that censorship crap in our protocol, as is probably totally obvious by my presentation. I think that that is not okay. So, yep. Yes. Yes, correct. In general, you will rotate over your circuits every 10 minutes. So you're using a Tor exit server, and then you build a new circuit, and you tear down the old circuit once your connections are closed, and you'll continue to do that. So really what you get in some cases, depending on how long you keep your connection open, is pseudonymity. Right? If you have an SSH connection every single day through the same exit node on a regular basis to your server and you log in, you have pseudonymity and you have anonymity of your location for the person who runs the server. So there's different kinds of anonymity that you get. And in this case, you'll build different circuits based on different ports you want to connect to. So, anyone else? Who's going to run a Tor relay now? Yeah, fucking awesome. That was totally worth coming then. Thank you.